Hello people, I'm just going to very quickly show you the swatches for the new Beetles pastel collection that I recently got because I'm using some of these colors in the set we're going to do today. I really love these colors on this. And this whole set is going to be done with Beetles products today. Yay! And we're going to start off with a medium length oval nail that I have prepped the tips already. And let us go on our way. I'm going to start off with this nude. The ring finger, which is going to be the accent nail, is going to be a full coat of this. Also, you guys, I got my new setup to film with, so hopefully, I know there's part of this that's going to be out of shot somewhat, but at least you won't get the top of my head in the picture anymore, and I shouldn't have a shaky camera situation anymore either. Okay, anyway, on to the nails. With this, we're going to do an ombre, but I decided to switch it up, and for a change of pace, I'm going to do a diagonal ombre, as opposed to the same old horizontal vertical ones that we all do all the time. Thought I'd just do something a little different. So on all the nails except the ring finger, which was full cover, these are going to be partially done, and then I'm going to go in with the colors on the other half, or the other part. And I did get some new ombre brushes. They were having a deal on Amazon for, I think 3 of them were like $7.95 or something. So, and one brush was like 5 something, so I'm like, well, I may as well just get all 3 of them. So this brush is a little different than the one I had before. This one doesn't have as sparse of a bristle situation as the other one does. Okay, but we're just going to do the ombre pretty much the same as we always do. We're going to, the same way you would do a vertical ombre, where we're just going up and down, well, diagonal to diagonal instead of side to side. Yeah, I just wanted to do something a little different, as I get tired of the same stuff all the time. You know, these were not the best ombres that I've ever done, but since we're going to be finishing them up with a matte top, which always tends to soften everything up, and also the butterfly stickers are going on pretty much right in the middle, which will cover some of that too, so it doesn't need to be totally perfect. But we will just move along here through the rest of the colors that I'm using. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, maybe, Beetles had a unicorn collection out, and I did not have the money to get it at the time, but it had a lot of these same pastel-y colors that I really liked. And later, when I went back and tried to find it, it was nowhere to be found, so I couldn't get it, and I was highly disappointed. But now I saw that they had a pastel collection, so I went ahead and got that. The bottles in it are pretty tiny, but I really love the colors. And if there's anything that I absolutely love that I can't live without, I can always order it in a bigger bottle later. And the last one, pink. I've had a bit of an exciting week or so. I guess last weekend we went to the Ren Fair to spend the day, and 10 minutes after walking in the door, I managed to step in like a divot in the ground and went down and rolled my ankle. So the rest of the fair, I was just hobbling around clinging to my husband like a barnacle because I couldn't walk very well. But I was not about to give up those tickets that we spent the money on, so I just toughed it out. So needless to say, all week I've been hobbling around here. My ankle is all swollen and gross and purple looking. It's rather disgusting. Okay, and there is the first coat. And those are going to go into cure. I'm going to give them a 60-second cure. And here we go with coat number 2. It's going to be the exact same thing. Okay, so anyway, as if that wasn't bad enough for me, yesterday I'm outside and I feed some of the homeless cats that are around the neighborhood. So I was outside getting their food bowl in, and just as I stepped down into the kind of this like mid-level yard area we have to pick the food bowl up where I keep it, all of a sudden I see something go shooting out from the weeds right next to my foot, and as I look, I'm thinking, oh, there must be a lizard. As I look down, it was a snake, and I came unglued. Needless to say, being that I can't run at the moment, made things even freakier for me. But all's well that ends well. The snake fled in one direction, and I hobbled my way away in the other direction, so I'm pretty sure it was just a garter snake, so, nothing to worry about being venomous, although there are venomous snakes around here. I haven't seen any yet. Hopefully I never will. But that situation really got my heart beating yesterday. So now I'm leery of going down there to water my plants. Anyway, that's the excitement that I've had in the last few days. We live in a semi-rural area, so there's a lot of critters and wildlife around here. But we've been here for 2 years now, and I had not seen any snakes, so I was kind of holding out a false hope that there weren't any right around here, but clearly I was wrong on that front. But we're just going to go in here now, back to the nail business with the second layer of the ombre. Now this one we're going to try to be a little neater. I have mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. When doing the ombre, now you notice just then I flipped my brush around the opposite way. After I go across it one time and I've picked up some of the polish, I like to flip it around. So where I'm wiping it, like brushing against it, the purple will be in the nude and vice versa. That gives me I feel gives me a little better blend. I'm going to go back in. Let's move this out a little more. And once again, these are not the best ombres I've ever done, but I knew they were going to be okay because of the rest of the process that's going to be happening. And when you're doing ombre, and you start to get a buildup in your brush of the colors, just wipe your brush off and carry on. Now obviously I'm cleaning my brush out totally in between each color, so I don't want to contaminate. And eventually we're going to get this on here. I did seem to get kind of a lot of fluff on this set that I ended up, like you'll see it on there, like there's some on that one I can see. I do go and clean those off before I cure these. I may or may not show that part, I don't remember now. And there's a piece there. In case you're wondering what I have, why I have scrunchies on my wrist, That helps to catch the sweat that runs down out of my gloves when it's really hot, like it was this day. That keeps it from running all the way down my arm and dripping off my elbow onto the floor and or my lap. I know it looks ridiculous, but frankly it does work, so I'm sticking with it. I know last summer it was miserable in here when it was super hot, having to wear gloves and just sweat just running down and dripping off. It was gross. Okay, I think the yellow one's done. Moving on to the blue one. Whoopsie. And of course my gloves gotta get stuck under there every time. I went a little bit heavier with the layers of polish on the second coat than I did on the first coat, because I wanted to be able to have a little bit more to be able to blend them together better. I'm still getting used to, with the new setup, where to hold my hands so I'm in shot, but hopefully it'll be better. Usually I'm out of shot towards the bottom. This time I'm out of shot in a couple places, but it's at the top. I don't know how that happened, but I'll get it figured out eventually. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of that blue off the bottom because it's kind of thick, and we don't want it to wrinkle. Now usually I don't use the nude polishes very much, but I thought I'd do something a little different with these instead of just going with the solid. And that is a big bunch of polish that slopped on my glove there. Instead of going with just the solid colors on the nail, I wanted to do something a little bit different. And we're just going to keep going back and forth with it till we get some kind of a blend going. And then we'll smooth it out. That's a little bit much on the polish on the brush. I should probably be wiping some of that off. Nope, and look at that, I did. Okay. You want to let them sit just like a minute maybe after you're done, so all the brush lines kind of smooth out, they kind of level out. Now I don't think I showed it, but I will clean that fluff off the yellow one. And then they're ready to go in for curing. And now we're done. Okay. And now, what am I doing? Okay, I am getting ready for the glitter. So we're going to go over the ones with the color on them. We're going over them with the base coat. Now you see, just by putting the base coat on, already the ombre looks like it has smoothed out a little bit. Okay, then that's going to be ready for the glitter, which is this iridescent chunky glitter. And then I'm going to use an old, some kind of an old brush to get those glitters on, and I'm just putting the glitter on the nude part. Maybe just a tiny skosh into the color, into the where the ombre is, but it's not going down very far into there. Now see what I'm talking about and how I'm out of shot near the top now. Okay, we're just going to get this on. Now this is just an old brush that's part of a makeup brush set that I got, just a real cheap one that I bought a while back off of AliExpress. It came with a whole variety of different types of brushes and whatnot. They're makeup brushes, but a lot of them work good for different nail stuff. This one being a good example for the glitter. Okay, come on, what are we doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm looking at those like from kind of from the side, like so I can see if there's any that are sticking up a lot, because I want to make sure to get them all as flat as possible. Boy, that scoop had a bunch of those big ones on there, didn't it? I think I'm going to take some of those back off, if I remember. Or I'm just going to pile a bunch more on top of it. Yeah, starting to get too many stuck on there, so I just wanted some littler ones at this bottom part, but now I got another big one down in there. Okay, and then we'll move on to the pinky. Okay, and then once I am done messing around here with these, I'm just going to make sure nothing's hanging over the edge, and I'm going to try to look and see if there's anything sticking up that I need to flatten out, and then they will be ready to cure once I'm happy with getting these guys flattened down. I was trying to get a big one to stick there, and it did not want to stick again. I wiped it off, and then I couldn't get it back on. Okay, I think we're ready for curing. And there was a hair in there, of course, as usual. Okay, here we go. We're ready to cure now. And those have been cured, and now I'm going over them with a generous layer of base coat. This will help even out the glitters with the nail, and seal them in at the same time. Then we'll give that a cure. And now we're back. Now we're going to go over it with a no wet top coat. This also is going to level them out even more. And this, I'm putting a kind of a heavy layer of this on too. And did I do the little one? Okay, now I've cured that again. Alright, now I'm going to go in with a file, and I'm just going to show you this one thumb, but I'm going to go around and I'm going to use my hard file to take off anything that's sticking up by a lot or anything hanging off the edges. And when I'm happy with that, then I'm going to switch to, I have now switched to my buffer. The buffer was a 100, 180. And I'm just going to continue to buff this until I get it nice and smooth. And once I get this done, I will go in and do the rest of them off camera. But I just want to make sure that it's smooth, especially since we're putting stickers on top of this. We don't want any bumpy stuff. Okay, and then I will go in and do the rest, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, now this is just, I'm going to show you what I do when I get overage on the sides by working on the nail stands. Now you can only do this before you've done your final top coat, but I just take my nail scissors, I just clip that extra stuff off. And then I will get my file and go over just at the edges and smooth it all out. Now, as I said, you can't do this at the very end. You have to do this before the final top coat because you don't want to be cutting off your final top and then breaking the seal along the edge, and then then it will peel on you, and we don't want that. But there we go. That is the. Now, clearly I haven't done the buffing on this one yet, but that's the sides all cleaned up, ready to go. Okay, moving on. Now, these decals I'm going to use on here. These are what they are. I'm going to use those too. Now I'm just going to cut them apart. Now, you guys, I knew these decals were old. I've had them forever, but I was absolutely shocked when I looked at the bottom of this decal sheet, and it has the brand name and the year of the year of them on there. They were done in 1994. That is how old these suckers are. Then I have had them all this time. So see, eventually I do get around to using everything I buy. It just may take me years to do it, but eventually I will. So anyways, I'm just cleaning off around the edge. So we're going to cut it, as close to the edge as we can. Now, I knew these were really old, and I knew that they were kind of hard to get off the backing. So I did not use the stamp method, the stamper method of getting them off, because I know they need a long soaking. So I just went back to the old school way of putting them in a shallow little dish of water and letting them soak in there, which I think is what I'm looking for now. Getting my water ready to put them in. Yeah, I originally was going to try the stamper, and I realized it's not going to work. Okay, now this first one, as I was pulling it off the decal, okay, well, I didn't show the first one. This one, I'm just going to show you this one. But the other one, when I was trying to get it off the backing paper, it ended up ripping in half. So I had to piece it together, so there's like a crack in the middle on the other nail, which I will take care of in a bit, you'll see. But once I get this on here where I want it, I'm just going to let it sit on there and dry. Okay, I want to make sure there's no bubbles or anything. And there we go. Oh, I'm going to clip off these ends where there was stuff sticking out. Now I will file those ends off a little bit better after I get a layer of the top coat on. Okay, that is going to go back and just sit there and dry now. And then we're going to move on to the butterfly stickers. FYI, those decals are a Kiss brand that, like I said, from 1990s, so they have been making product for a long time. Alright, now that was me just using an alcohol and a lint-free wipe to wipe off all the dust from the buffing on those guys. Then we're ready for the butterfly stickers. Okay, and I'm going to use this sheet of metallic-y butterfly stickers. There's no brand name on these. They came from AliExpress. But I really liked these. They're really pretty. They were super easy to work with. And I'm really happy with them. Kind of wishing I'd gotten more than one sheet of these. But I'm just going to place the stickers somewhere near the middle of the nail. Make sure they're on smoothly. And I'm going to put the same color as the nail is of the butterfly. I mean, obviously you don't have to do that. You can do them however you want. That's just the way I decided to go. You'll notice on my own nails, my bows are still on there after nearly a month, so yay. That one had the top of the wing got curled under and I could not get it up. I was afraid I was going to tear it, so I decided just to leave it alone. It is what it is now. And I didn't have a lot of choice on these purple ones for purple butterflies. They kind of blended into the blue ones a lot. I'm not sure if this is the one I did the 2 halves or I did the one purple one that was on there. I think we're going to go with the 2 halves on this one. Now, I toyed with the idea of painting a body in the middle of these 2 halves, but then I decided, you know what, I'm probably going to mess it up, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. I was going to do a body with the little antennas, but decided against it. Okay, and there's how they are looking now. Now we're going to go over them with a layer of the no wet top coat. This will seal the stickers in. The no wipe top coat, I feel, gives it's a harder coat than the matte, so I always like to do a layer of this first, especially if I've got stickers or something that could potentially peel off. This will seal them in really well. And then we'll go with that in for curing. If you're going to have them shiny, that's how they would look. Now we're going to go over them again with a matte top because I wanted the matte. And you'll notice already now, after all these layers of top coat and whatnot, how the ombres have smoothed out and kind of got much better looking than what they were when we first finished them. Okay, those are ready to go in for curing, and now they're back out. Okay, now we're going to go with these butterflies on the accent nail. These came from AliExpress. They're 3D, as you'll see when I get them out of here eventually. Now at this point I wasn't sure which one I'm going to use, so you're going to see me kind of trying some different ones on there to figure out which ones I wanted to use that were going to kind of match but not blend in too much. Initially I thought that would be a good one, but I thought it blended in a little too much and you couldn't see it very well. This one, I didn't really like the colors with those other colors. Those reddish, orangish ones I thought would blend in too much also, so I settled on the purple ones. So we're going to use 2 of the purple ones. Let me just check that. See how that blends in too much. You can't see it. And then I did try this one, and I didn't like the way that looked either. Okay, so we're going to stick with the purple ones. I really love these butterflies. They're really cute, they're pretty, they're colorful, they're easy to work with. Okay, and we're going to need our gem glue. And I'm going to use a dotting tool to put the gem glue on there. If you look at that nail that's sitting there, you can see that's the one that has the ripped decal down the middle. That was the best I could do in getting it to go together. And I wasn't too concerned, as I knew I was going to stick these butterflies on there, and you won't see that anyway. See where it's ripped right there? We're going to cover that right up with this butterfly. We're going to put it right there, and you'll never know that was ripped. I'm going to put a decent blob of glue on here for these because I want to make sure they're glued on there really well. Looks like that other one's taking a nap. He's upside down. Okay, and I'm going to just put that on. Now, I think this is the one I just set it in the lamp and I didn't cure it right away. And what happened was when I put the other one in there and then I went to cure them both, this one had flopped over onto its side a little bit. So it didn't look as good. But in this, what I'm doing is taking a little bit of glue and going around the bottom edge again on both of them, and then I cure it again. And here we are with the finished set. If you like this set, give me a like. If you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. And I am very happy you guys are watching my videos. I will have more for you next week. Thank you so much.